After 144 years of stops and starts and a frantic finish, the Sagrada Família is nearly complete. Antoni Gaudi's majestic Catholic church, the tallest in the world, now marks a century since its visionary architect's death. It's fitting that Pope Leo was there to inaugurate the mighty Jesus Tower. Leo took his name from Leo XIII, the sitting pope when Gaudi took over this project in 1883. 11 popes later, along with 2 world wars and the Spanish Civil War, Gaudi's masterpiece has been realised.
We normally get given a desired lifespan of 60 years, but on this project they said, please would you make it last as long as possible.
Is that an exciting project or a daunting project?
Oh, definitely exciting.
A little bit of both, isn't it? Which
Different
is
answers.
kind of, that's part of what makes it exciting, isn't it? Is the fear that it won't work and the challenge of finding a way to make it work.
Tristram Carfrae and Steve McKechnie are the structural engineers behind the Sagrada's finishing touches and explain why it's taken so long to build.
There you go.
I think the main reason was cash flow. So, you had spurts in time when it was exciting, like building the Passion facade, when they could raise money in the 50s, and then times when it was very hard to attract, donors and patrons, and the whole thing slowed down a bit.
They got the call in 2014, when in the years after Pope Benedict consecrated the church, money poured in as worshippers and tourists flocked to Sagrada, and they could finally get around to building the towers.
And they said they had a problem with one of them, because one of them sat vertically above the crypt, which was actually built for a smaller church before Gaudi was employed, and they needed to reduce its weight because the foundations weren't capable of supporting a massive stone tower. And there were sort of 2 other issues relating to that. They wanted to construct things faster, and they also wanted to use less space on site.
So the issues they had were weight, space and time.
Weight, space and time, exactly.
Those are the 3
things.
things.
Those are the 3 things.
With Gaudi's intention not to use buttresses to support the towers, how to create tall stone structures that could withstand wind and earthquakes.
So the idea we came up with to make the whole thing lighter was to use a thinner piece of stone, but clamp it together with steel inside it that holds the joint shut without having to add all that mass. And then the second bit is we can then make pieces like this off-site, and you can make as many as you want at the same time, and then bring them on-site and build the tower like Lego blocks. So we've now conquered time as well.
The rate of construction increased dramatically. Having built 60% of the church in 130 years, they managed to build 40% in the past decade. But with many of Gaudi's sketches and models destroyed during the Civil War, there's always been a debate about how faithful the church is to the Catalans' original vision.
Well, in 1926, he had built 2 of the 4 towers of the Nativity facade. So there are working examples of stone of his structural ideas, which we are still referring to every week.
If the exterior can feel all-consuming, inside is all about contemplation. The nave, with tree-like columns rising to a ceiling of flowers and stars, all illuminated by a rainbow of colours from the stained glass, feels like the stone forest that Gaudi desired. But this story is not over. The final glory facade is yet to be built, and plans for a grand staircase would require the demolition of businesses and homes. And Sagrada's completion comes at a time when residents have protested over tourism in Barcelona. Rents have risen, homes have dwindled due to Airbnb, and locals feel they are being squeezed out of their city. But for those who were part of the Sagrada team, today is a moment for relief and appreciation.
And the craftspeople that they have, building and engineers and the whole team, but there are some astonishing people there.
And it's an achievement of 5 generations. And some people, it's that their family have worked on it 4 generations. The people working today are thinking, maybe we'll be the generation that finishes this. The feeling of being uplifted when you go into that space is remarkable. Even though I'm not a particularly religious person, but I still, you sort of become spiritual, if you like. And now I get the same feeling from outside when I look up at and think, we helped do that. We had some minor contribution to this most amazing building.
So Gaudi's almost converted you?
Sort of, in a funny way, yes.